What's going on in the world out there? Hey, this is a different type of episode. I really want to call this Real Resilience Talk Resources. Okay, so we talk a lot about positive things on this show. We talk a lot about trying to create community, unity, and expression, and battling depression and anxiety and the enemy of death by suicide and other harmful, destructive behaviors. So I want to share with y'all a few different organizations that are doing amazing things that you can contribute to, that you can take part in potentially, and I'll just show you the websites right now. I'll put these in the show notes too, but I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen right quick, and boom. Oh, it only wants me to share one tab at a time. All right, cool. All right, boom. So we're going to start right there. How about that? All right. Hey, I want to tell y'all about an amazing organization right here. And if you're an organization out there yourself and you work with people, it doesn't matter if you're a school, if you're a military unit, if you're a corporation, doesn't matter. But if depression is something that, you know, you want to educate your people on, this is depression and suicide first aid in a lot of cases right here. I mean, obviously we got 988 and all that kind of stuff, but what 1 Degree of Separation does is they come out to you, and I've had an episode with Brad Bonar, the CEO and the boss man of 1 Degree of Separation. You can listen to it. I believe it's episode 5. I forgot the exact episode number, but I'll put it in the link as well. But anyway, long story short, it's a groundbreaking suicide prevention training program that combines comedy with life-saving education. You know, who needs another sad PowerPoint? Who needs this another, you know, tragic story, right? I don't think we need that and that alone. So the beauty of this is that they combine the power of art, the power of comedy, and the power of honest expression. Because after the brain is, you know, had humor, and the dopamine and the oxytocin and the serotonin and the endorphins are flowing, that keyword dose, then we're going to talk about, and they're going to talk about, this interactive approach that helps individuals feel more confident and prepared to offer immediate support to someone. Because the big thing we get tied up into when we're in a dark place of despair is we need to get out of that, you know, emotional side of the brain, right? We need to get to that logical side sometimes. And sometimes distracting can do that, and also expressing. So here's the point. Depression has 1 degree of separation. If you don't suffer, then someone you know does. All right. So please look into 1 degree of separation. I'll put their contact information in there. You can contact them and they'll send a team of comics out to you, do a show. It's usually only like a 90-minute training. You know, there's a good fun part up front, and it's all fun really. And then they go through the most powerful part of the entire thing is the 5 questions. And I'll let you look into that more. But 1 degree of separation is making a difference out here. Not just talking about it, they are about it, and they're really impacting lives, and they've impacted mine. And this dog tag I wear around my neck, it's not me saying, hey, everybody, I'm a veteran. No, this literally is the 5 questions right here on this. So if ever I'm in need of them, they're right here around my neck. The other organization that I want to highlight to everyone here is, man, I'm wearing the shirt, okay? It's one of the most amazing, I'm telling y'all, like ASAP. ASAP.org, okay? You gotta go to it. You gotta see it. It is free 99 art and comedy classes to veterans, service members, military spouses, family members, caregivers, and survivors, okay? And just to walk you through it real quick, one of the biggest things that I got out of it, they have chapters all over, is the connection built with others. So they're in Hampton Roads, Tidewater 757, Indiana, San Antonio now. They just stood up that one, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and there's also virtual options, okay? And you would think, how am I going to learn arts online? Trust me, it works. I took their comedy bootcamp class. Is amazing. But this is the mission. And then look at this. More than 650 veterans return home from duty every day, right? And there's not always a homecoming party, and we can feel in isolation, and we need connection, and we definitely need expression. Don't suppress it, express it. So I'm telling you, with Armed Services Arts Partnership, you can really, really find a place with other like-minded, cool people. And it's also just something to try. It's that pressure. It's that pain up front in the sense of like you're nervous, you're scared. But I tell you, the pleasure-pain principle of the brain, the pleasure you get on the back end, and just the confidence in yourself and just the fun is amazing. And it's taught by veterans and made for veterans. So you explore your creative side, build artistic skills in a supportive military connected community. Again, taught by veterans, made for veterans, and also our family members, caregivers, survivors, and our spouses can actually go to this too for free. Acting, comedy, storytelling, writing, improv, visual arts, and there are more. So I encourage you to explore their website. If you're looking to make a contribution to a good organization, I got the t-shirt, okay? Armed Services Arts Partnership, amazing organization, really good people, and they're doing great things. And I've met a lot of my closest friends through them. So that's another one. So asap.org, okay? And I also want to tell you about Military Mutual. Okay, Military Mutual is an organization that's close to my heart. Very, very good people that are there, veteran owned and operated. And, I'll just say from my own experience, sometimes, and I did 23 years of active duty and different climates and different commands, I felt safe to be able to seek mentorship and to express my truth and maybe to express my pain. And then there were other places where it was kind of traumatizing. So how Garrett Biss speaks about it. If you haven't looked up Garrett Biss, look him up. TEDx speaker, amazing human. I'm telling you, you gotta look him up. But he defines trauma as anything, and I'm paraphrasing, so I'm sorry, Garrett, if I mess this up, but anything that affects in a negative way our sense of safety, our sense of security, or our place in the world. And I've had that happen to me a few times, and through expressing or being vulnerable and confiding. And sometimes the wrong people, and sometimes it gets weaponized against you, and sometimes it just doesn't go good. I'll just leave it at that, okay? So you yourself, if you're a service member or a veteran or a spouse, you may find yourself to where you might want some mentorship from somewhere else. You might want to learn from somewhere else. I mean, obviously you got to be a part of your command. You want to be a team player. You want to contribute. All of those things matter, and don't hear me wrong here. But what about what's next in our life, right? What next after your service? Or maybe you're at a duty station, or you're at a location, you're at PCS somewhere, and you just ain't enjoying it, and you don't feel fulfilled. Well, sometimes you got to go find other ways to fulfill yourself. And trust me, if you stay in long enough, it'll come back around again to where the only thing you got time and bandwidth to focus on is the mission, is the deployment, is the school, is the whatever the thing may be. But there are those other times where you can work on yourself more, and you can stay connected with other things outside of just your duty station or your billet or your job at that moment. We get assigned all over the place, and it's a beautiful thing. It's great experiences, but sometimes you can feel yourself low. That's just one aspect of, like with Military Mutual, it's veteran owned and operated. That right there is the amazing CEO and founder right there, Derek Barstow. And it's a mission-driven personal and professional development platform for all active duty service members, veterans, their families, veteran-owned businesses, and veteran service organizations. Military Mutual exists, and I'm reading it because it's so powerful right here, because too many people in the military community are expected to navigate life, transition, oh my God, it's so hard, leadership and business without the structure, clarity, and support that they once relied on. Maybe it was in your last command you had it. Maybe you're in one of those other ones I just described. So the resources are often fragmented, impersonal, and difficult to trust. That's just the God's honest truth. And I'm not trying to bash anybody or throw any shade or any of that. It just is what it is. You don't feel safe. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel compelled to seek help in a certain area. That's okay. And there's 988 and there's behavioral health and there's all those things too. But what about just some mentorship, some development, some guidance? Military Mutual was built to change that. And there is active duty coaching. There is, so many options here, so many options. And right now, they're doing a membership, and it's something good to look into. I'll let you explore that yourself, but just remember that it's created to meet people where they're at and help them move forward with clarity, consistency, and confidence. What a trio of words: clarity, consistency, and confidence. Consistency is so important. So if you're looking for something like that, somewhere where you can have an ecosystem of support, whether, like it says right here, mental, personal, professional, financial growth over time. We just don't know what we don't know. When I joined the Marine Corps, I didn't turn 18 until I even hit the operational forces. And based on my background, I didn't trust banks. And it was when the share check cards had first came out. I just thought it was a credit card, and I was like, I'm not using that. So I chopped it up. I didn't know I was actually spending it on my checking account. And I only knew what I knew, and I came in with an 8th grade education. I only finished 8th grade and I had a GED. And long story short, I used to, every time I got paid, I would go to the ATM and I would withdraw my entire check. Or I'd go to the bank because I probably cut off my card, right? And I would withdraw my entire check and I would hide it in my barracks room. It took me a long time to learn, you know what doesn't accrue interest, doesn't have any change with the inflation or any of those kinds of things, is money in your sock drawer, money in your shoebox in the barracks room, money under your bed, your mattress. Like I'd hide money in the vent, right? I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So that financial growth, we live in the society we live in. Finances are a big cause of stress, and having your finances correct can be a great reliever of stress. So there's just so much to learn with Military Mutual, and I encourage anyone out there, veteran, spouse, family member, active service member, reserve, National Guard, whatever your status is, look into Military Mutual. It is really, really good. So far I've talked about 1 degree separation, near and dear to my heart. I love that team. ASAP, Armed Services Arts Partnership, and Military Mutual. Okay. I want to show you another one out here. Big hero of mine. I mean, this guy defines resilience 1,000%. Like, I mean, that's probably not even mathematically correct to say 1,000, but this right here, this warrior you see is the legend, Bobby Henline. I mean, he is a comedian. He is a veteran advocate. He is a difference maker in this world, and he gives back. He has endured a lot in his life, and he's a survivor. And he's I'll let you look into him for his background story, but he is a survivor, a lone survivor of IED attack in theater in Iraq, and he continues to live for those angels that are with him every day. And one of the ways that he does it and his lovely bride do is they have the Forging Forward, the Bobby Henline Foundation. And again, if you want to donate to something, if you want to find out how you could volunteer or how you could maybe have him come out to wherever you're at and speak, I mean, you will not regret it. One of the best public speakers on motivation, on resilience, but he's also one of the best comedians I've ever seen in my life. Just if you want to laugh, I'm telling you right now, you book Bobby Henline to come and speak to your organization. I'm telling you. But there's ways that you could donate. But the About Us, their mission right here. I mean, the testimonials in here, but I do want to show you their mission is provide service and activities, cookie policy, I'll accept and close, to active duty and veteran, military, and first responders. We often, I'm thankful for all of the love and adoration and admiration for military, but we can't forget about other public servants, right? Those who put their lives on the line, from first responders, and there's Gold Star families, but his whole goal in helping first responders and the veteran community, military, and active duty, right, and those currently serving in reserves and National Guard, is to promote quality of daily living. Healing begins by finding the strengths of an individual and using those strengths through encouragement and sharing to inspire learning and advance knowledge, which ultimately, remember this, y'all, strengthens local and global communities. Activities and services focus on the elimination of suicide. We have to eliminate it. We have to eliminate it among all through camaraderie, connection, connectivity, and friendship. That's what we need. That's what we need. I had the privilege one time of hearing Sergeant Major Ruiz speak, the 20th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. I mean, just an amazing guy, genuine, real as it comes. And he said in a video talking about suicide prevention, he said, Marines, we love you. And, some people were like, what? He just said, we love you. Oh my God, like mushy gushy, like whatever. No. And then the commandant, 4-star General Smith, backed him up in the same video that they took in one take, by the way. There was no there was no script, there was no teleprompter. It was just them speaking from the heart. And he said, that's why we take bullets for each other. That's why we die for each other. It is love. Everything we do is out of love for each other. So it's finding that sense of love, that sense of belonging, camaraderie, connection, friendship, bonds. Again, after service or even during service, because you may be somewhere where you don't feel that where you're at. And that's just the way it is. I'm not going to debate that. But there's times in your career, if you do however many years, whether it's 4, 40 or whatever, you may feel like that. You may feel disconnected. You may feel alone. But here, with organizations like Armed Services Arts Partnership, Having 1 degree of separation come out and give you some tools, some thoughts, some perspectives. Military Mutual, Forging Forward with Bobby Henline, right? Like, you can find connection. You don't have to stay alone. And I want to highlight these organizations. And I want to highlight one also, which is, he's one of the leaders of it. He is, in my opinion, him and his family are literally the American dream. I mean, I'm probably going to mess up the enunciation of this, but Joygona, Sports for Peace and Development Incorporated. This organization is doing like global impacts. And one of my mentors, one of my close friends, one of the people I love dearly, really, I mean, he's like the ultimate warrior. I mean that 100%. But he leads this with other family and friends, and they use sports. They use sports to be able to bridge the gap and to be able to come into locations all around the world and use sports as a bridge, as a way to help kids all over that are maybe in, let's say not so good circumstances. And sports, like the arts, like so many other things that I've discussed so far, can really help build connection, can build hope, and can give people positive, healthy outlets to lean towards. Okay. So how can you make a donation? It says it right here, right? How can you partner with them? How can you volunteer your time and have an impact? I mean, there's testimonies. There's just amazing things that they do. And you can see that, I mean, I love this, what they're here. Join the caravan of change. And they raise funds and promote initiatives to serve the people who need the most. I mean, they've literally provided water to areas that had no water. You can see it depicted right here. This is the goodness that they are doing. And I vouch 100% for the leaders of this organization. I know them personally, professionally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. Amazing organization doing great things. And they are committed to countering radicalization around the world and building resilient communities through sports. Now, remember that. You may not be at risk where you're at or whatever, but there are many other populations around the world that when we say that word radicalization or children being used in improper ways, whatever it may be, we got to stand up against that. And this is one of the organizations that are doing that. And it's a distinct identity. That's bold, that's courageous to be able to say that. Committed to countering radicalization and building resilient communities through sports, through mentorship. And I love this quote right here, Martin Luther: everything that is accomplished in the world is achieved through hope. So there are ways to volunteer with them. There are obviously ways to contribute. You can reach out to them. You can contact them and find out how you could help. I mean, maybe you go join the Caravan of Change. Maybe you go find a way to join what they're doing around the world and provide water or provide purpose or provide all of the things that I actually just pressed the the email. I'm not going to email them right now, but you can connect with them through email. You just press that right there and it will literally pop up your email. So that's what my Outlook just did. There's Venmo ways, PayPal. You can volunteer your time right there to support the cause. And I can't agree more with this organization. I love them. I love the creators of it. I love the calls. I love the way they do it too. But it's about building that community, that connection, that tribe. And I can't say it enough, man. This organization is doing good things in the world and you should know about them. And if there's a way, maybe follow them on YouTube. I'll put as many links as I can in there, how to follow them on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But again, Sports for Peace and Development Incorporated, Jagona. I think I said it right. Joygona. I'm always mess it up, I'm just a gringo trying to sound cool over here, but you can reach out to them via email. You see it over there. It's Jagonia SPD. So that's Sierra Papa Delta for all the motivators out there at gmail.com. All right. So that is that organization. So today I've talked to you all about some, you may look, this is the thing, like we can't tell people you're not alone. I see that shit written everywhere. I've even said it. And I really had to stop and think about it because there's been times in my life I've been in a formation. I've been in a giant, building with tons of people around. I've been in public. I've been at family stuff. And I'm around people, but I feel alone. And no one else can tell me that I'm not alone. We cannot tell somebody that. We cannot tell somebody how to feel. But what I can say and what I can confess to you, profess to you, is that you do not have to stay alone. There are an abundance of resources. I think Tony Robbins said it. Like there's the information age. We're overwhelmed with information. Information is coming up, but we are starving for wisdom. We have a million organizations out here, and a lot of good ones, and a lot of not so good ones. And there's a lot of causes, and there's all these things, and some of it overlaps, and all that. And it's like you might be somebody listening right now and be like, "Where the hell do I start? Where do I go? Like, where's somewhere I can go to?" And I've been at those duty stations or locations where, again, you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable enough, you don't have trust. You may have seen other people get burned, or maybe you did, or you've had a bad experience, and you're guarded now, and you've had some workplace trauma, or you've had other traumas in your life, and you do feel alone. And I'm not going to debate that, but you don't have to stay alone. You don't. There's the Armed Services Arts Partnership. I'm telling you, some really cool people, great instructors. I mean, oh my God, some amazing comics from Dwayne White's an instructor, Monica Daly's an instructor, Melissa Duke's an instructor. Oh my God, one of my mentors, Kristen. I mean, Demi Chang is one of the instructors. P.T. Bratton is one of the instructors. And for all the ones I didn't name off, I'm sorry. I love y'all. But really, I didn't want to turn into a roll call. But everyone at ASAP is doing great things. So asap.org. Do not miss out on them. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that I forgot about this one because this silly thing. There's another one I want to share with you all is mission belonging. And for some reason, my computer doesn't want to correct or cooperate, whatever we say, with me right now. So I'm just going to tell you about it. Mission Belonging is another organization that is out here doing really, really cool things for people, veterans, families. Maybe it will pop up now. I want to share the screen with y'all if y'all are watching this. Share screen. Boom. There you go. It did it. Maybe I had too many tabs open. Sorry. Okay. So it's an online space. I think sometimes they do in-person stuff, but I've always taken their online stuff. But it's exactly what I was just saying a minute ago in my rant. Like, no veteran should bear the burden alone. Mission Belonging builds bridges between veterans and citizens using the language of creative expression to promote. Oh my God, it's a leadership trait now. Thank you, Sean Major Ruiz. Thank you, General Smith. JJ did Ty Buckley. If you know what I just said. But empathy is one of the 15 leadership traits now in the United States Marine Corps. But it's to promote empathy, foster understanding, and build authentic community. Authentic means so much. So does the word genuine. So these are some genuine humans. You can donate, obviously, but they have tons of events like how to write, maybe your story, how to have poetry, how to use art therapy. I've had Miss Yana on my show. I can't remember the exact episode, but she's an amazing art therapist, and she came on, and she's one of the instructors with Mission Belonging. And it's to combat loneliness and build community. Again, I cannot debate you feeling alone. But what I'm saying is you do not have to stay alone, okay? So you can go on here, missionbelonging.org, and have tons of stuff. Sign up for the newsletter and receive updates. But oh my God, look at this testimonial. I love this program. It helped me find my tribe. Like, dude, that's everything that we talk about on this show. And do not be one of the ones who's like, I'm not artsy fartsy. I ain't doing none of that shit. I said the same thing. I said I never do yoga neither, but I'm over there with Yoga with Adrian all the time on YouTube, learning how to keep my body right. But art and expression helps me keep my soul, my emotions, my mental health right, and build connections, right? So again, they bridge the gaps, they build the empathy, promote the empathy, foster understanding. But this is really cool with their mission belonging. We envision a world where shared artistic expression creates sacred experiences that fuel transformation, ignite connection, and build understanding across differences for veterans and citizens. And I use the hashtag often, but probably stole it from Mission Belonging. I love y'all. So hopefully when you look up hashtag Art Saves Lives, they come up too. But I use it all the time because I'll be honest, comedy and art has saved my life, has helped me not just stay alive, but also in a lot of cases thrive. And I don't say that to brag. I just tell you that the power of what they say right there about fueling transformation. And they believe that art saves lives. And I believe that too. Workshops, they facilitate organizational decisions, like who they choose to work with. The decisions are determined by what we believe as a board and a staff and a unified team. So it's it's just wrapped up in teamwork and connection, community, communication, service, impact, um, artistic excellence, transformation. I mean, that's a big one for us. And then, with things like mission belonging or military mutual or even ASAP or 1 degree separation, forging forward or Jagonia, I think I said it right. It's finding not just a purpose, that's important, but the connection and, you matter. These people make you feel like you matter. And they're just really good organizations. And I just wanted to highlight them and take the time because I know I come on these episodes and I give a lot of happy talk and I quote a lot of people. And I say a lot of stuff, right? I run my fat mouth a whole lot, but I really want to highlight, these organizations that are out here working hard every day, not to just complain or, state the problems. I mean, what did Teddy Roosevelt say? Stating a problem without a solution is called whining. We got a lot of whiners, and I've been one too. We got a lot of victims. I've been one too. Well, let's be victors. Let's be change makers. And you might not know the way, but there are other people out there right now today that want to help you find that way. I want to help you find your way. So I just can't say it enough. And I tried to diversify all of these because, something like 1 degree of separation can come to your university, come to your college, come to your high school, come to middle schools, come to your military unit. You contact them, they'll come out to you and show you, not just tell you, but show you how to have a conversation to maybe save somebody's life or understand someone else's life better, right? Because if you don't suffer with depression, someone close to you does. And just because you don't right now doesn't mean you won't later on. It's just like that in life. Life be life. And I've expressed that enough on this podcast before. But Armed Services Arts Partnership, I'm rocking the t-shirt, right? Mission Belonging, Art Saves Lives, Military Mutual. I can't say enough about us finding our next chapter. Is imperative for us in the veteran community. And our families too, right? Our families serve as well. So look into them. And you might just need some guidance. You might just need some mentorship and a different perspective from someone else who served where you served and can kind of give you and coach you along. And it's not coming back to your command. It's not coming back to anything you're doing. Or maybe you're just all the way out and you just want to learn, how do I own my own business? How do I start a VSO? How do I, all these things, right? You just don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. But it's an environment where you can not only stay alive, but you can learn how to thrive. And that's one of the most important things for us. I think knowing that we matters so much. And to be honest, sometimes we feel alone and we feel like we don't matter. These are some organizations that can help with that. And again, Bobby Hinline, Forging Forward, I'm telling you, even if you don't donate to the or volunteer with them, just learn about him, learn about his story, look him up on YouTube. I mean, there's documentaries about this guy. Just amazing human, resilient warrior. And my man, Mac Breezy, is running the, along with others and family members and friends and other great humans, warriors, I'd say, 100%, running Jagona. And they're out there making a difference. And these are all different methods and ways to get involved, how to make a difference, how to learn how to make a difference and build camaraderie, connection, and friendship. And what more do we need in life, So just remember, like I say, it all adds up. So visit these sites. These are some of the resources out there. If you're a civilian that listens to this and you're not affiliated at all, shoot me a DM. I will look into and research what organizations can also help you out. I am what I am. I'm once a Marine, always a veteran. So I'm a veteran and I'm into arts and all that stuff like that. Don't suppress it, express it. But I would definitely, if you DM me, I'll do my best. Really busy and got a lot of shit going on, so I might not be able to respond right then, but I'll try to point you in a direction and research and try to find some other organizations out there. But these are just some that are just doing amazing things. So I think I've said enough right now, but I wanted to give you all not just happy talk, but tangible tools. And I'm telling you, I vouch for every single one of these organizations. All of them impact my life, and they all have made me a better me. Am I the best I can be at this moment? No, but I'll get there. And so far today, I'm still around, and that's what it's about. So much love to all of you. Take care of each other. Make good choices brick by brick. They all add up. Thank you for listening. And this show is sponsored by Nobody, baby. But I did just advertise a whole lot of good resources. Much love.